Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Blade here, and we're back in iRacing. But before we get started, I want to go ahead, and if you haven't heard, of course, on Thursday, this past Thursday, we unfortunately lost Kyle Busch, one of the greatest drivers to ever do it. He was one of my favorites, and I loved him for the same reason that I love Max Verstappen. He was blunt, he wasn't afraid to say what was on his mind, but he was dang fast as well, and truly it hasn't felt real, to be honest with you. No one expected this. I was honestly sad we were coming towards the final years of his career, but to have this news, it truly is just baffling. All my prayers and love go out to his family, friends, loved one, and just anyone else affected by his passing. And with that being said, rest in peace, KB. We're all going to miss you. We all loved you, brother. And without further ado, let's get into the race. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Blade here, and welcome back to some iRacing. Today we are in the IndyNXT at the Indianapolis Oval. As you all know, today is the greatest day in racing, as we have the Indy 500 and the Coke 600. Unfortunately, no Monaco Grand Prix. F1 wanted to, change their schedule and all that. But anyways, this is only my second ever time using the IndyNXT car. We get it on the Indy Oval. Here we are in qualifying. This car is honestly pretty fun once you can get it down. I really enjoyed it a lot here, and these quali laps, as you'll see in the first lap, I really am very conservative. I'm not trying to push it too hard, just trying to get a feel for how much it can do, and kind of drove it like I would the regular Indy car, where you have to lift about every time you enter a corner. So I tried that, and then realized I had a little bit more to give, so on the second lap, it was full push, foot to the floor, and ended up getting a nice spot to qualify in for my first ever time doing this. So ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the race as we're coming through the back stretch onto turns 3 and 4. In my head right now I'm thinking, alright, you know what it's capable of, you know it's going to be a flat out push to the end, and with these cars being what they are, slipstream is going to be the biggest thing. You get no push to pass in this series. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Indy's like the only place push to pass is where it's not given on this oval. So, we have this Chick-fil-A car driven by Max Baldwin here on the inside. He qualified P1, as you can tell, qualified P2. We come up to the line here as we're about to go green. Pace car heads off here, and we're just chilling. We're kind of waiting. We're waiting, just waiting to get that call to go. Obviously, green or green, we're off. You cannot pass anybody until you've made it past that line, I'm pretty sure. That's why I was kind of conservative here, but as you can tell, I played a little safe, just stuck in behind him, trying to get on the slipstream. Everyone, for the most part, stays pretty tame and together. We're all just kind of chilling here for this first little bit. Ain't nothing too crazy. You can tell here I get out of line, hoping to make a move, but of course this ends up kind of doing me in as this number 2 car behind me, I'm sorry, 22, ended up getting alongside me and having that inside line, especially this early on. He's ended up making the move, dropping me from 2nd to 3rd. I'm alright with this. I almost brushed the wall here. But I'm just locked in. You can tell there he is. So I'm going to end up letting off just a little bit so I can just slot in behind both of them. That's all right here. There we go. Let off a bit, but of course being that wide, it kind of throws me out. I'm also a sitting duck now for who was in P4. He now puts me down to P4 here. Now actually I'm just going to hold my place. Just relax for a little bit. Just kind of follow with the pack up ahead and just try and... Right now I'm just thinking, let's gain some ground, stay calm. 24 laps to go, don't do nothing too crazy. That's just not how this works though, as Baldwin gets loose, slams into him, and I thought I had this, but he swooped just enough to, one, not only give me a contact 4X, but he also swooped my front wing off. So now, I'm going to have to go into the pits and get my front wing put back on, which sets me all the way back to the rear, and I go from 3rd up to 2nd, and then I drop down to 18th. We're now on to lap 5 here, as we are waiting for the green flag once again. Pace laps have finished, and we're off. As you can tell, I am back down to 18th. And now my goal is very simple. Head down, pass as many as you can, and get back up to the front, hopefully in the podium position. Guy here ducks to the right. He's probably a safety rating driver. So that's one pass for me up to 17th. Diaz up ahead. He seems to be a little unconfident in the car here, and so does Fawcett up ahead. I had a lot more confidence. I knew what this thing was capable of, knew what I could do in it, so end up getting around Diaz, get Fawcett slipstream to help really secure the deal, and then I'm going to end up ducking into the inside here and just get this position going from 17th up now into 15th, as Fawcett just takes a slower line around the outside, and I think even lets off a little bit. Puts me up to 15th. Next car up ahead. Again, just trying to get close to him. Trying to get up to Draper here. And just trying to get as close as I can. But the issue I've now incurred is he has pulled away quite a bit from the cars up ahead. And there's a sizable gap to the point where I'll get a little bit of slipstream, but nowhere near enough that I'm going to be able to catch him really fast. So I'm really just going to have to pray for another caution here to really help me out. And well, as you can see up ahead, I'm about to get what I wish for here very soon. As these guys, as you can tell, are all over the place. They're just on each other, making moves left and right, just swapping positions. And this eventually comes back to bite them here in about a lap or so. See, guy over here slams into the wall. It is a free position for me, putting me up to 13th. And there's no caution for that, weirdly enough. But up ahead, that's going to be a much different story. These guys are still all over the place, and then eventually, I think you can see what happens. Massive wreck that gives me 3 more positions, which puts me up to 11th. As these 2 cars to my left don't get involved and are still in the race. They don't decide to pit. Pit lane's also closed. I have to end up letting this pink car by, which I gotta say the livery is quite clean, I cannot lie. And again, we're back under caution, we're back to pacing. So we're coming back, pace laps are over. 2 cars ahead of me ended up pitting, putting me up to 9th. And car on my left, Cordis, is just a lot slower than everybody else. Ends up dropping back. But for now, goal remains the same. Catch up and try to secure a podium. As we can see here, he's a lot slower than I am, so I end up getting the jump on him once we get onto this back stretch here. A lot different of a line, a lot slower of a line. I end up getting the slipstream, and as you can tell, just sitting in it, getting closer, closer, and closer, and closer. Duck out into the inside. End up making the move stick. He actually lets off a lot and just lets me by, which I was kind of shocked by. I figured he would have fought a little bit more. But now I have just the cars in front of me to catch, which should be an easy and done deal. Now up to 8th place. It's a very simple game of just following them and just getting as close as I can, getting as much slipstream as I can, and trying to secure the deal. Get around this car here, putting me up to 7th, but now I've run into the same issue of the guys in front of me are quite a distance ahead. I have a lot of ground to make up, and as you can tell here, I stay in 6th gear, but eventually learn that you need to shift down in the turns to 5th, and this ends up giving me a massive boost. I ended up catching them here pretty soon. So here we are, lap 15. We have now caught up to the cars up ahead pretty well. And now it is going to be a dogfight for position. These guys have been going back and forth for a fat minute. And it is now just going to be a fight to the end. I've caught up, of course, to the leaders where I started. And I'm feeling pretty good about myself, but there's a lot that goes on here. They're all very tight, very close together. And it makes it for a hectic time. A lot of pushing on the straights, lifting in the corners just to stay out of someone's rear end and not cause any issues. And for the most part, we're all kind of just playing a game of cat and mouse, giving and taking, you know what I mean? Just a lot of just give and take, give and take. I just said that. Good job, Blade. Very close call here with the number 9 of Baldwin, who was in first with me. And I have to let off just a little bit. Let off here as well. Just trying to stay where I'm at, stay with the pack, and not try to do anything too crazy. Go for moving the outside, but this ends up making us 3 wide, which is very sketchy. And is a very, I honestly thought something bad was going to happen here. Somehow we pull it off though, and we're all alright. We make it through here. And Baldwin is still right there on my inside. I end up pulling away from him a little bit, but I end up kind of giving it back to him here. Tail went really wide there. But now we've all kind of flattened out into this more straight line. And it is now just follow the leader. And just, well, it was follow the leader, but there we go. That's what I was about to mention. Those two are having a crazy accident that does put us back under caution, pushing me up to 3rd. 1 spot shy of where I started, and in just a few laps, I've gone from 18th to the podium. ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Pace laps are done. We're in the last stretch here. There will not be any more cautions for the rest of the race. It's green and green. First and second, get a nice start, pull away from me. And my goal, stay with them and make a move towards the final couple laps, because at the end of the day, you'll end up getting repassed here at Indy if you make a lap too soon, as we've seen several times. As you can tell, I kind of start reeling them in a little bit here, especially right here. I get into the slipstream and I just start reeling them in real close. I'm also praying God that Jonathan behind me will stay there and not do anything too crazy to get us further away. But as you can tell here, still doing the downshifting method. And I'm just getting closer and closer and closer and closer, trying to just do the best I can to get as close as I can so I can make a move when the time is right. And so their fighting is only making my situation better. Here we are now, lap 24. Still been dogfighting it out, and I end up actually getting a move here on the inside of Elderson, and now have a bit of a run I can get on P1. And I end up getting to this position. In my head, I'm like, ah, shoot, this was a mistake. I need to try and maintain this second place position and stay behind them, which thankfully I am able to do. And we're gonna make our way here through turn 4, and this will lead to the last lap. And I just want to give myself just a round of applause and say that I am proud of the fact that I managed to go from 18th all the way back up to 2nd where I started. And in my head right now, I'm thinking, alright, you've got this, stay where you are, don't do anything crazy, and aim to have a good run out of the last turn and get back on the straight. That's going to be where I'm going to have the best chance at making a move. Not through the turn, not in the middle, but out of the turn. And you can tell here, I'm getting closer. I actually let off a little bit here. Just a smidge though, so I can keep behind him and keep this slipstream and not get myself into a stupid situation. He ducks to the outside, giving me the inside, which actually is setting me up for a baller run that I'm going to need up into. And this is exactly the position I wanted to be in. This close. I duck to the outside, but he moves with me. I give him a little nudge. So I duck back to the inside to try and get some draft, and I clip 3rd place, slamming myself into the wall. And I just narrowly, just barely make it across the line and end up finishing 9th. You can't see it on my face, but I am beyond pissed at myself for making a decision that stupid and ruining the race like that. And you can see right here, you can just watch. I am so mad, shaking my head, because I knew that was such a dumb move on my part. And yeah. Well, everyone, that's going to do it for today. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Remember that Jesus loves you. I love you. This has been your boy Blade, and I am out. Peace.